We brought together a diversity of stakeholders to basically set priorities for neurodevelopmental disorder research. This is a field that tends to have a lot more questions than answers, so it's really important that you hear from all of the people involved, so you're not just listening to what the researchers and the doctors have to say, but you're involving the people with the lived experience. You're also involving people who have a diversity of different disorders because they take many different shapes and forms.
So there were nearly 30 people involved as participants, and we also had a number of observers who were here to learn about the process and understand the decision making, and obviously the organising team as well.
About half of the participants in today's workshop were either caregivers, family members, or self-advocates, and so we are fairly confident that the voice of those who experience those differences and their caregivers is well represented in the top 10 category, given that we reached consensus.
It's exhilarating to be part of something collaborative, creative, that matters to people in a kind of life and death way. Many people were saying they had a child with on the autistic spectrum, but also had ADHD or also had anxiety or whatever, and so on. So there was really interesting. Plus there were doctors here, there were all of these different researchers. There was a whole interesting mix of people. I came in with my set of priorities and my list, and then these are, and as each session went along, there was this amazing discussion, and you heard these amazing stories or insights or experience of the doctors of what they're facing, what they deal with most. And so there were certain aspects or certain symptoms or certain questions, research questions, problems that I hadn't really thought of as important. And I have to say, at the end of the day, I think the highest one that I had in my top 10 was like number 4 or 5.
To do research that's impactful, that drives towards, clinical and real health impact, you have to make sure that you start by asking the right questions. And this is a way that we can make sure that we're hearing from the entire community so that we can have their input guiding the questions that we ask and we invest our resources towards addressing.
What's extremely important about this process is that it's as rigid about its methodology as any other research work we do. So it holds the stakeholder engagement to the same level that we hold our other research endeavors. So we know then that when we get this input from the stakeholder community that we have a good representation of the different views, and it allows also for the different stakeholders to actually talk to each other, exchange ideas, and come to a common consensus about where the field should go next. Part of what we are learning as part of the Province of Ontario Neurodevelopmental Disorders Network is that neurodevelopmental disorders have more shared than different. So they share a lot of their biology, they share a lot of their clinical presentations, and the kids and the youth and the adults who experience those differences have more shared needs than different needs. So we learn more about what's shared. We also create common and shared agendas, and it's easier to advocate with a shared agenda for a larger number of individuals than if every single diagnostic group had to go and advocate for their needs.
The first conversation we had about this was in about April of 2015, and now here we are today. It's a long and rigorous process, but I think to do something that has any meaning, something that's quality, takes a really long time, so I'm really happy with how it turned out.
I liked what we came up with. So that was really, and maybe we're Canadian and we all just wanted to get along, I don't know, but it was really interesting to be able to come together and create this list after so much discussion in groups and then the groups mixing and so on, to be able to create this list of questions, and any one of them is going to make a huge difference for people.